Hello there! Today I would like to talk about metacognition, its essentiality in teaching and learning. Metacognition essentiality in teaching and learning. According to Webster Merriam Dictionary, metacognition is defined as awareness or analysis of one's own learning or thinking process. It has demonstrated the value of monitoring one's own cognitive processes. According to dictionary.com online, metacognition is defined as a psycho-thinking about one's own mental processes. Wikipedia also defined metacognition as cognition about cognition, thinking about thinking, knowing about knowing, becoming aware of one's awareness and higher order thinking skills. In 1976, Flavors defined metacognition as the knowledge about cognition and control of cognition. Meanwhile, Brown in 1987 has stated that in psychological literature, there is two areas as knowledge about cognition and regulations of cognition. Andreas Demetriou's theory used the term hypercognition to refer to self-monitoring, self-representation, and self-regulation processes, which are regarded as integral components of human mind. Then metacognition is a regulatory system. Metacognition allows people to take charge of their own learning. It involves awareness of how they learn and evaluations of their learning needs, generating strategies to meet these needs, and then implementing the strategies as cited by Hackers in 2009. Metacognition has two processes. One is knowledge of cognition, which has three components. That is, knowledge of the factors that influence one's own performance. 2. Knowledge different types of strategies to use for learning. 3. Knowing what strategy to use for specific learning situation. The second is regulations of cognitions involves setting control goals and planning, monitoring and controlling learning, and evaluating one's own regulation, which is assessing result and strategy use. Then how metacognition is applied in teaching and learning. Teachers should allow learners to reflect their own learning processes and strategies by asking questions. In a collaborative learning, the teacher asks them to reflect on the role they play when the problem solving in team, such as in a group discussion as shown in the picture. Second, the teachers must emphasize and encourage learners to critically analyze their own assumption and how this may have influenced the learning, with this foster self-reflection. Third, treat strategies directly. Teachers should teach appropriate metacognitive strategies as a part of learning process. Fourth, promote autonomous learning, which encourages participations in challenging learning experiences. They will then be forced to construct their own metacognitive strategy, such as work in team. Fifth, provide access to mentors, promote experiences where novices can observe the proficient use of a skill and then gain access to the metacognitive strategies of their mentors. Six, solve problems with a team. Cooperative problem solving can enhance metacognitive strategies by discussing possible approaches with team members and learning from each other. 7. Think aloud. Teach learners how to think aloud and report their thoughts while performing a difficult task. Another approach to thinking aloud is the working out loud approach, such as ask the students to say something about what they think, expressing loudly or sharing it to the other student. 7 is self-explanation. Self-explanations in writing or speaking can help learners improve their comprehensions of a difficult subject. Students also can implement self-assessment, which will let the student opportunity to make errors. When learners are given the opportunity to make errors while in training, such as during simulations, is stimulate reflections on the cause of the errors. This is another self-reflective, where the students can self-assess what they have done. As in this notebook, we can see the student has just got 3 out of 10 right in the exercise. So then, why so crucial about cognition be in the teaching and learning? With that metacognition, the student able to think systematically. They acquire deep, strong mental capacity. Besides, students or learners can develop behavior of self-esteem. And also they acquire technical skills such as planning, analyzing, evaluation. Not just that, soft skills also they acquire, such as interpersonal skills, communication, and futuristic career orientation, which allow the students to acquire skills such as artificial intelligence in the platform of Industrial Revolution 4.0. Learners also can contribute to the communities and nation if they can increase productivity in their job. Metacognition is online with 21st century learning, where we acquire the students to be creative, to get critical thinking skills, able to communicate and collaborate, then also to adherence to the values in our community or society. Model thinking strategies. The role of the teachers is to model involves showing students specific example of how to use a learning strategy, as cited by Cardiolo in 1998, Lambert in 2000, known as Think Aloud. Implementing self-access. When involved in assessing their own academic growth, students become more aware of their learning goals and the result of their effort. Self-reflective learning. Encourage self-reflective learning. which encourage students to explore the understanding about how they learn, as also cited by Paris and Paris in 2001 and William et al. 2002. This is another metacognitive which allowed the students to be able to take note with a very exact what have they learned or what they have read. If the students are unable to do something or they are stuck in the job, they can seek for help. This is also related to what is metacognition. Among those metacognitions, we expect the students to be dependent, able to self-regulate as a regulated learners. By then, the teachers should explain the value of metacognitive, help less proficient, assist students overcoming self-defeating, coach the students through analytical tasks, remind reading is an active process, develop creative problem solving. Besides providing self-monitoring materials such as checklists, reading logs, and self-assessment survey. As I mentioned, modeling the way the teachers do things to be used a think aloud approach to the student. Promote the development of questioning skill. We ask the students to ask questions and to generate the answer so that they can learn and understand what they have learned in the class. This is another self-regulated learner where the students can rely on their friends and themselves to be better understanding in the learning. Promote student talking and thinking skills. Engage by connecting with their interests. Emphasize the metacognitive awareness throughout the year. In summary, metacognitive awareness inventory is so crucial to the learners. Pre-assessment and self-assessment of the content. Self-assessment of self-regulated learning skills. Think aloud for metacognition. Concept of mapping and visual study tools. Classroom assessment tools. Metacognitive notes taking skills. Reflective writing. Rappels. Retrospective post-assessment is considered as one as elements of metacognition. I think with the brief explanations about what is metacognition and its essentiality in teaching and learning, end up my presentation today. Until we meet again next time. Thank you.